everyone, Bethany here. I'm so excited that you're here today. I'm going to do things a little bit different today and do more of a chatty type video. And I'm going to share my top 10 things that I wish I knew about homeschooling before I homeschooled. But before I get into that, I want to let you know that this is a collaboration video that so many amazing homeschool moms are going to tell you their reasons or their things that they wish they knew about homeschooling. So many words to get out of my mouth before they homeschooled. And this collaboration is hosted by my friends Davene at Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shauna at Homegrown Homeschool. So that playlist will be down in the description box. Let's hope that I could get these words out of my mouth for this video. Okay, a little bit of a backstory about me if you are new here. I have been homeschooling for, this will be our 11th year. Cannot believe I've been homeschooling for 11 years. Not sure where that time went. I've always homeschooled, so I started with my oldest in preschool. I actually knew I was going to homeschool before I even got married. My husband was actually homeschooled back in the day when people really didn't homeschool. I don't think I really even knew about homeschooling back when I went to public school. But my husband would tell me all of his experiences. Him and his brothers knew like everything about everything, and they had so many hobbies and things that they were just good at. And I thought that, hey, I want my kids to have this experience as well. And we're also a Christian family, so I also had that kind of aspect that I wanted to be able to take kind of that point of view of teaching to my kids as well. So it's very difficult for me to think back 11 years and to try to think what was in my brain when I started. But I'm kind of going through the years and thinking about all the different kind of mistakes that I made throughout homeschooling and things that I kind of wish that I knew or that I could do differently. So I wanted to share them with you today so that hopefully you will take these all into consideration and not make these same mistakes, or not really mistakes, but just that you are aware of these things before you homeschool. Okay, number one, homeschooling is not public school. Very different, very, very different. I think public school was created with a certain amount of hours to kind of cater to a parent's working schedule, so that the parents are at work for 8 hours a day, so the kids needed to be in school for a long period of time. And if you think about it, when you're in school, there's all kinds of in-between things where you're not actually doing school. So when you are doing homeschool and you have your work for the day, it takes a lot less time than if you were in public school, because you have one-on-one with your teacher or parent who's your teacher, helping you with their work. So it doesn't take that much time. So I would say in the beginning, with picking curriculum, there was not all the choices there are today. I remember with preschool, I would do research. I wanted to do a Christian-based preschool, and there were 3 choices. That's it, 3 choices. The one I picked was Bob Jones. At the time, I liked it because it was colorful and I don't know, just appealed to me. But it was created, not the preschool curriculum so much, but as we went through the first few years, that it was created for private school. So it did kind of have that long hour day schedule, and it was too much, way too much, and it did not work for our family. So that kind of goes with my number 2, is don't feel married to a certain curriculum. Now, I started with that Bob Jones. I went through, I think, a few years with that, kind of thinking like I had to do this curriculum all the way until she graduated, because that's what I chose. That's where she started, and it was getting to the point where it just was not working. It's very advanced, and it was just not working for her at the time. And you spend all this money on curriculum, and And when it's not working, you kind of feel like, I have to use it, I have to do it. And I would say that's not the case. I mean, maybe you want to get through that year because you don't have the money to choose another curriculum. But nowadays, there's certain curriculums that you can get for free, which they did not have back in the day. But yes, don't feel married. Something is not working. Stop. Do your research. Find something else. That might not work as well. Keep changing until you find that perfect fit, because I will tell you, your homeschool will be so much better. We had some bad years with some curriculums that just did not work, and it was dreaded every day by me, my kids, and it was not fun. Now things are fun, exciting, maybe not so much for my kids every day, but yeah, don't feel married to a curriculum. So number 3, you can use multiple curriculums. So in the beginning, I kind of always had this view that you had to use every single thing from that one company. Like, you couldn't kind of stray off the path. I did have some friends in groups I was in that did like, oh, I do this for this subject and that for that subject. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't pick and choose. Like, I don't feel qualified to do that. But yes, you can. You need to pick what works for your family. You know, for math, maybe this curriculum works. Maybe for another child, that curriculum doesn't work, so you're going to use this one over here. Pick and choose what is the right fit for your family. And with that in mind, number 4 is do family subjects. It is a lifesaver. So if you have more than one child, do family subjects. So for science and history and maybe some extracurriculars or certain unit studies, do them together as a family. Not only does it save time for you, it actually is a fun bonding time that you could have with your kids. That's my favorite part of the day, is we do all our individual subjects like math and language arts, handwriting, that kind of stuff separately, and then we get together and then we do our science and our history, and I just love being together, talking together, and it's just such a nice time to spend together as a family. Number 5, you will, if you're like me, you will overplan. In the summertime, this is when you start looking at all the curriculum and unit studies. There's so much out there now compared to when I started. You can find anything. So many amazing people have created such great curriculum, unit studies. There's so much now at your reach that you can get, and you will overplan. Every year it happens, I'm like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and I get all the things, and just know that you most likely will not finish all of the things that you purchased, and it's okay. It's okay. It can wait for the next year, the year after that. Maybe you'll never get to it, and it's okay. So don't get down on yourself thinking that, oh, I didn't get through everything. Just do what you can, and it's okay. And then with that in mind, number 6 is your kids will probably not be as excited as you for special activities, unit studies. So many times I was so excited about something. I had it all planned out. I got all the fun things in the books. I did morning baskets, and your kids will be like, this is so stupid, I hate this, and it just crushes you because you planned so much, you were so excited, and they're just like, eh. If you remember, on this channel, I did morning basket videos, and I'd plan, I'd get all the books and little activities and things like that, and in the beginning it was so much fun, they loved it, and then the basket just kind of sat there and didn't get looked at, and it could have been my fault as well. I should have took it and plopped it in front of them, but when you have so much going on, it just so I kind of put a kibosh to the morning baskets, and that's why those morning basket videos stopped on this channel. But yes, your children will not be as excited as you most of the time. For me, probably all the time. Okay, number 7. This is 7, right? Okay, so this is probably one of the biggest things that I've learned, because I've had kids that have struggled in certain things, like I think all of you have. We don't have any perfect children out here. Is if you're having a tough day, if it's math, and they just cannot get that certain problem, maybe tears start to fall and they get frustrated, stop that assignment for the day. Go on to another subject. But if they're like in a mood, stop school for the day. That is the beauty of homeschooling, that you could take a day off and just get back in it. And you know what? This adds another day to the end of the year, or you can double up on another day. And I will tell you that with those assignments that brought tears and were just confusing on that day, and we stopped, the next day, they get it. They got it. No tears the next day. Sometimes, and I know this for myself, you just need to think about it, process it in your head, and then the next day is a whole new day and it's better. So that would probably be one of my top things for this video. And number 5, 6, 7, 8. And this kind of goes along with my next one, is that you may think you are not capable of homeschooling your kids because you maybe don't remember certain things that you learned back in school, or you're like, oh, I didn't go to college for this, or I never learned that. You learn alongside your kids. You are learning with them. You are an adult. You are capable. You are smart. You may not know these things now, but you can learn them now, and you can teach them to your kids. And you know what? If you're up in the higher grades and you don't understand things, there's tons of resources. There's YouTube videos, there are books, there's free resources everywhere to teach you how to do whatever you need to teach. I remember okay, tell me down in the comments, how many times in your life have you been told that oh, well, what about when your child's in high school? And what when they want to take pre-calculus? Like, what are you going to do? I can't even tell you how many times I've heard that. And every single time it's like, pre-calculus or da-da-da. I never took that. I never took it in high school. Had no need. And I'm like, if they need it, I'll hire a tutor. You can hire a tutor to help with something more advanced. You have all the tools and abilities to homeschool your child. And number 9, your child will eventually master that thing that you think they will never master. Okay, so with my kids, I had one child that struggled with multiplication. No matter what we did, those math facts just could not be memorized. It was just tough. At that time, we were using a curriculum that we should have stopped way before. It worked great in the earlier ages. It was ACE Paces. For earlier years, it was great, but once you kind of get to some later years, it was just kind of pages and pages of math facts, and didn't really give much of an explanation of what or how to do things. So we kept pushing and pushing. Let me try this book and that book, and you kind of the point like we cannot move on because you need to know how these math facts before we go on. And you just kind of think they're never going to get it. They're never going to get it. But you know what? They do. They do get it. Eventually, you'll find something that works. We found it was a Math You See skip counting CD that a friend recommended, that I bought little CD players and put the CD in and listened to the songs, skip counting songs at night, and she got them. My youngest, she struggled with letter recognition, and I was at the point where it was just like a few years, she wasn't getting it. But you know what? She did. She got it. So just keep working, keep pushing. Your child will eventually get that thing that they're struggling with. And you know, that's the beauty of homeschooling, that you could take that time to master that thing, because you know what, if that child is in public school, yes, maybe they have some certain programs, but sometimes kids are left behind and they just don't get those concepts and they're just pushed through. So that is another thing about homeschooling that I love. And number 10, homeschooling will be the best, or one of the best decisions that you will ever make. Yes, there are bad days, but I will tell you that all the good days and all that time that you get to spend with your kids every day, you don't miss anything. It's just amazing. It's so great. You will be so happy. I think anyone that has homeschooled, I don't know if anyone ever regretted it. I mean, I think everyone probably, even if they did end up sending their kids to school, will say that was a great time. But yes, I don't think you would ever regret time spent with your kids. Okay, well that is it. That's my 10 reasons. I probably have a million more reasons, or all the things that I learned along those 11 years, or things I wish that I knew before I homeschooled. I just can't get that title out, can I? Again, remember that this is a collaboration video, so go to the playlist down below and check out these amazing women. They probably will cover all the things that I didn't. And I would love for you to stick around. So please hit that subscription button. I have tons of other homeschool content, children's book content, things from PaperPie, subscription boxes, especially educational ones. So many fun things, so I hope you decide to stick around. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and hit that bell. Please follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye everyone!